67. I mean, and that was on the road. No problems with Chaffey going on the road with their style of basketball, and they're going to get in you defensively.
Absolutely. They're a tough team, too. Sometimes you think of them as just a three-point shooting team, but certainly in the past, I know when we've played them, they've been very physical as well, and so they give you a little bit of everything, which is can be difficult to handle.
John, one question. Fresno City, you mentioned it, Michael, a semifinal appearance last year. They're a team that routinely makes it to the championship round, at least in recent years. There's a lot of turnover at this level. From a coaching standpoint, though, how can experience play a role? How does that play in from a coaching standpoint in terms of giving a team a little bit of an advantage?
Oh, it absolutely does, because your guys are ready. They've been there before. I know the year we made it to the Final Four back in 2012, I had 9 sophomores, and the fact that we just had experience playing in big games was very beneficial, and it'll help both these teams for the sophomores who have been around, in particular Fresno, because of their style. They've been here, they know what it takes, and it should be a great game.
We'll have starting fives up here for you shortly. Game 2 of 4 on day 1 of the 2019 3C2A Basketball Championships. You see for Chasey, Cameron Fisher, Anthony Garcia, Aaron Johnson, Isaiah McCullough, and Manu Ule. Leading scorer for Chaffey, for Fresno City, David Rico, Georgie Dancer, Ronald Agebar, Carl Snyder, and Ethan Richardson. The 3 seed from the south and the 2 seed from the north in Fresno. Fresno running the slate 16-0 in the Central Valley Conference, and then in the South Coast Conference North, second place was Chaffey. I believe ELAC, the winners of the South Coast North. South Coast Conference, just such a tough conference. You think about the representation in the playoffs. You had Long Beach City, you had ELAC, you had Cerritos, and then obviously you had Chaffey College as well. About set and ready to go here. And be sure to catch us on our YouTube channel, SoCal College Sports 1. Also on the 3C2A website, California Community College Athletic Association, CCCAA Sports.org, Tournament Central. Mike Spada, Jeff Stoynoff, John Taylor with you. John, how quickly in do you expect the bowling reference to be made?
Well, evidently it's already been, the gauntlet has been thrown. Maybe we can get together after this broadcast and, throw the ball down the lane a little bit.
Well, hey, I didn't bring my balls up north here. I didn't have any room in the car. But, I tell you what, you set the time and place, and I'm right there with you.
Now, always be wary of a guy who wants to bowl with you, who uses balls, plural, when talking about bowling.
Absolutely.
I'm sure John has 9 for himself. And right off the bat, Fresno City, it's Carl Snyder.
Well, as advertised, so dangerous from long range, and Snyder open and buries it.
On the dribble, this is Anthony Garcia. Garcia gives it off. Fisher, driving the lane, kicks it out. This is Ule. Manu, great footwork inside. Nice finish at the rim. Ule comes up hobbling a little bit. I wonder if he tweaked an ankle. We get inside, Ethan Richardson. Richardson, another nice post move. This one for Fresno City. Offensive rebound goes to the Rams. Georgie Dancer has it near side. Off to Snyder, who just hit that 3 to open the things up for Fresno. Kick it around. Mid-post entry. AIDS bar. That one stolen by Ule. 3-on-2 advantage. Ule, the big man, running the break.
Fresno City after the block. 3-2 lead. Quick double team.
Got to be careful with Georgie Dancer. Dancer, second trip up to Ventura. That's a travel down low by Richardson. Good swarming defense in the post. Ule coming over from the weak side. Well, John, what are you seeing here early?
Well, I really like Snyder. He's got impeccable footwork. But as we just pointed out, Chaffey really did a nice job coming down that second time on the double team.
The game of adjustments. Who's going to win that one?
Absolutely. They're both really good coaches.
Ed Medic. for Fresno City. Jeff Klein. Oulet has that one blocked. Blocked up top by Jared Small. Over on the far side, this is Jonah Brown. Brown from three had a good look at it. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Jared Small. You see wholesale substitutions for Fresno City throughout. Miller inside, kicks it back out. Daniel Rico. Jonah Brown. 15 on the shot clock. Plenty of time to get something going here. LJ Gallegos. Big screen. That one's going to be called a foul on Ian Miller. Miller got the worst of it. Almost seems like it's a bit of a focal point calling that moving screen here, John. We saw it in the first game, a very important foul call that went against COS on a moving pick.
You really have to hold your screens. I think it's almost an emphasis the last couple years in terms of holding your screens and not moving.
Garcia going to go back to work. For Chaffey working left to right in the black jerseys. Oulet sizing up Richardson. Going to the short corner, and that one's going to be a travel. So just hopping into the shot, it's Aaron Johnson.
You like to bring Oulet out top, and talk about a little bit about the adjustments that you make when you have a big man that can handle the basketball out front, like an Oulet can.
Well, it really gives you an advantage in a lot of ways.
That's a textbook post-entry. Richardson unable to finish on the doorstep.
It spaces the floor for you and gives you a lot more options than if you just have somebody standing on the block.
Well, Oulet can certainly put the ball on the ground, but it doesn't seem like somebody that has a very strong handle of the basketball. Looks a little shaky, and maybe jitters here, maybe a bit of a factor early.
I sense both teams are a little bit tight, which is expected. You know, they're young guys, and I think what Fresno City's trying to do right now is a little bit different than in the past because of the post player. They're really looking to get the ball inside a lot more than they have in the past.
Under 10 to go in the shot clock. Dancer with it out front. On the dribble, gets a screen from Richardson, who holds his position that time. Some contact made. Dancer puts it up on the rim, puts it in. A lot of contact down low, and I thought in that first game the referees did a good job of letting them play. These have been very quick games so far.
Absolutely. May the best man win, so to speak.
Only thing I thought was ticky-tack was, the moving picks, but talk about it being a point of emphasis, and, that's ringing true.
Absolutely.
Off to Georgie Dancer, who kicks it up ahead. Rico, back to Dancer. Up at the top of the key. Age bar. Dancer enters to Richardson. Richardson looking to post up, one-on-one down low. Looking for a drop step. No, he goes to the right-handed hook, and that's easy money.
Very nice move. Chaffey didn't come over and double that time, and they paid the price for that nice little half hook there.
That's too easy, and Richardson, great position throughout that offensive possession for the Rams, up 7-2. Coming up on the 15-minute mark in the first half. Game 2 of day 1 of the 2019 3C2A Basketball Championships. Garcia to the rack. Snyder over to Dancer. Daring Agebar to shoot the basketball from out there. Agebar now with it in the short corner. Oulet kicks it to Richardson, 15-footer. Long off the back iron. Rebound brought down. This is Fisher over to Garcia. Garcia on the dribble, working against Georgie Dancer. That's great movement by Chaffey, wide open three-pointer. That's good, Isaiah McCullough. Game tied up at 7 on probably the best offensive possession we've seen today here, John.
Oh, absolutely. That was nice penetration to the middle and a nice kick. Beating the help.
Richardson down low, and we talked about the positioning for Richardson. We see it right there, and it's just too easy. Richardson, along with Snyder, very good in the post with their footwork.
Yeah, watching Richardson go one-on-one the last couple of times, it seems clear Chaffey's going to have to bring a hard double team.
Absolutely. That's just, as you're pointing out, Mike, too easy.
McCullough over in the corner. Fisher. Fisher probably didn't call glass, but he'll take it. The lefty ties it up at 9-0. Dancer will bring it up. It looks like Chaffey's going to try and pack it in here on the adjustment. Set up, long ball from Rico, well off. The defense there really taking Fresno that time out of what they want to do. Rico to the basket. Excuse me, Fisher. Oulet, great post feed, big man to big. Garcia wide open three-pointer, another one, yes sir. Chaffey with their first lead today.
Another good feed from Manu. Really freeing up that ball movement ultimately for the good look from three. You have to be very impressed with his court vision for a big man.
Just great feel for a big too. Great points. Story Dancer will try to respond from three and does. Back and forth we go, dueling banjos from beyond the arc. Garcia working against Rico. 5-man substitution, next dead ball for the Rams.
That's typical Fresno basketball, 5 in, 5 out. Keeps them fresh.
That is classic Ed Madick. Coach Madick. Mix it up a little bit. He wants to get things going. We saw him earlier at the shoot around this morning. Helped us get in the gym. I'll tell you something about Ed. That man works out.
Oh, he definitely does. I've seen him coming home at midnight to the hotel, and him and his team are going at it.
He's like the Ed Hockley of 3C2A men's basketball coaches. Knotted up at 12 all, looking for the back door. That's great defense in the half court by Chaffey. Really making him work for it. This is Rico. Daniel. It's going to be a block.
It's interesting. It looks like the second unit for Fresno seems more of a perimeter-oriented unit.
Yep.
And the first unit, they're really trying to jam it inside. Chaffey has to make sure they make the adjustment on that.
It's a matter of throwing different looks at your opponent, and I think obviously you'll see a little bit more of the team settling in terms of their rotation come second half.
Absolutely.
Daniel Rico to the bucket. That's an impressive play, high degree of difficulty to lead back to Fresno City.
Here comes the famed Fresno press.
And they're able to maintain such high energy on that press because of the substitutions. Makes them so effective.
It's a game-long process. It's not just for the first few minutes.
Manu kicks it out. Good double team late from Fresno on Manu as he went into his move on the blind shoulder. Long ball off the mark. Fresno now with it. Miller. I believe we saw Miller a year ago here in Ventura. He's at the elbow. 12 on the shot clock. Now, Fresno, a team that's very locked in, and you hear it from their bench. You see a nice play made by Gallegos. Their bench is calling out the shot clock. They're letting everybody know, where you're at. And when you're able to do that, and you're not even on the floor, that shows you that these are kids that are bought in.
They're very well coached. They know exactly what they need to do and how they get it done. There's no question they understand their roles, and that's a big part of coaching, making sure each player understands their role.
Oulet kicks out. Wide open jumper from McCullough. It is good. That's his second triple here in the second half, or in the first half, excuse me. McCullough now is 6. More substitutions, next dead ball. Turning face from Jonah Brown. Brown kicks it out. Almost halfway through the first half, back and forth affair between Fresno and Chaffey. Daniel Rico to the bucket, this time with the left. Excuse me, that's Jared Small. Manu to the basket. It's going to be a charge. Miller steps in. Let's see that again on the replay there, Emery. We'll see Manu with possession. Okay, are they going to override that? Because I thought that, well, was he in the restricted area? Initially, they had called a charge. I think what they ruled, the off judge came in and ruled that the defensive player had his foot on the restricted area line, so the foul goes against Fresno City.
Yeah, it was really close. Those are bang plays. They're hard to get correct all the time.
Miller indeed was in. It's a great job on replay. Emery Johnson and Brian Wilmore at the table in the broadcast cockpit. Thank you, gentlemen. Back to live action. Manu, double team down low. Rico trying to dig it out. Manu keeps possession. Shot up over Richardson, no good. And Richardson tracks down the ball. Georgie Dancer directing traffic. Rams by 3, under 10 to go in the first half. Box set here for Fresno. They're looking to pound it inside. Snyder and Richardson at the high post. No spacing here. Got to get out. 3 on the shot clock. Dancer from the elbow. That one well off. Manu can't track down the board. Rebound. Rico with the rebound. We're going to have a shot clock violation. And I think that's the correct call. I don't know if that shot from Dancer hit the rim.
Yeah, it looked like it didn't.
That's a tough
the
call.
call.
Do we have it? Can we go back? 20 maybe?
I actually have to disagree with both you gentlemen. I thought it hit the rim, but
Well, then I'm already changing my view on it. That's all it took with me.
That's not the shot. That one for sure hit
that
the rim.
one hit
That
the
was,
rim.
that was after the fact. Under 9 to go. Fresno gives up possession. Chaffey now with it. Boulay at the high post. Great move down low. That one swiped away. Defensive play made by Agesbar. In transition, Agesbar puts it up and in and one.
Nice look-ahead pass there. That's the one thing with Fresno City. They're going to run the floor each and every time, and if you fall asleep, they're going to get a basket just like they got there off a turnover.
Watch Manu the last couple of times he's handled the ball at that elbow position. Very uncomfortable catching and shooting from there, electing to put the basketball on the floor. You wonder as he continues to progress with so much upside if perhaps more catch and shoot from that range might be something he might ultimately want to add to his game.
Definitely. They wouldn't be able to sit back there. And
30-second timeout. We see Jeff Klein come on the floor and pretty irate at that last exchange there. You got the turnover, you got the layup on the other end, and well, I want to say the clip is probably 90% of the time you're going to see a coach call a timeout, especially early in the ball game. You don't want that to get away from you.
absolutely, especially with the style that Fresno plays. They play a lot on emotion, and when they get 2, 3, 4 baskets in a row, it could be a long evening.
Yeah, when you're going up against a team like Fresno, it almost feels like you're trying to prevent them from clicking on all cylinders, and if they start clicking on all cylinders, you're going to get run out of the gym.
It's a pace thing. You really want to slow the ball down against Fresno if you can, because they want to get out and run and spread the court and go at you. You have to be really careful with your pace.
Speaking of pace, I thought in our first game, Citrus did a fantastic job of really controlling the pace. When they wanted to go, they went. When they wanted to slow it down, they had no problem doing that as well and not losing their rhythm.
Great point, Mike. Absolutely true.
5-point lead for Fresno, 8:23 to go. Chaffey with the ball. Kick out. This is Johnson. Johnson to the rack. Can't get it to go. Pack down defense for Fresno, making life difficult offensively for Chaffey. Usually it's the other way around. David Rico out front looking for Dancer in the post. Dancer gets it, kicks out, great pass. Richardson finishes into contact. That's a pretty good job by Chaffey, and Aaron Johnson coming over with the help. Ulay, backcourt violation, working against Georgie Dancer. And Ulay seems like he's not working with the jitters like he was. Behind the back dribble, loses Dancer. Wide open three-pointer from McCullough, no. Richardson with a rebound.
Fresno escaped there. McCullough's an excellent three-point shooter and had already 2 made. That was in and out. Yeah. We call that in the coach's profession fool's gold. It was not very good defense, but they missed the shot.
Better to be lucky than good.
And sometimes we are.
It's true. Would you call ringing 10s bad luck?
Depends how far you swung the ball out.
There you go for a bowling
How
reference.
many boards you played?
Depends on the ball and how it hits. Richardson, the low post. Decided advantage versus Johnson down low. The left-handed hook, not going to go. Manu tracks down the board. Out to the races. This is Jalen Wiltz. Wiltz kicks out to Garcia. Garcia going to reset. Terrific transition defense that time from Fresno City when Chaffey wanted to get out. Set play coming here. They're going to reverse it to Manu. Bit of a zone, matchup zone look here, Coach.
Yes. You got to find the gaps in there. You got to go at it a little bit and make them miss a rotation.
Chaffey didn't miss a gap there as they come up with the turnover. Lead out to 7 for the Rams. So Rams and the Panthers gain 2 of 4 here today on day 1 of the 2019 Basketball Championship 3C2A edition. Rico with it out front, 10 on the shot clock. Egbar has that one stripped away. Garcia nearly turned it over. Good job of controlling his body weight there. Garcia going to direct traffic, working against Rico. Behind the back dribble from the mid post. Don't see a lot of that in this Chaffey squad. Pretty good shot though from 15 feet. Garcia just can't get it to fall.
You know, it's interesting. Chaffey keeps backing off Egbar, and they're having a hard time to get inside because of that.
It's going to be Wilt and Dancer getting into it.
I would think if you'd put a shooter in that position, it would be a lot easier to get the ball inside to Richardson.
Jared Small comes back into the ballgame. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of Small. Small and McCullough jockeying for a position with the feet.
And a little bit of talking as well.
A little chatter. Dancer gets it on the inbound. More fool's gold there, Coach. That was a pretty good play set up by Fresno City. Dancer just can't finish point blank.
Great look off a baseline out of bounds.
Garcia has that one blocked by Dancer. Georgie up ahead. David Rico. Back to Dancer. Richardson flashing across the mid-post. Right-handed hook. Money. Timeout, Chaffey. The lead is 9 for Fresno City. And it's been the Bruising Bad Boys down low, spearheaded by Ethan Richardson for the Rams. Back in a moment. The lead is 9 for Fresno City. Chaffey talks things over. And they're probably talking a lot about Ethan Richardson, but because there's 5 substitutions out here for Fresno City, he's not even on the court right now. So now you have to adjust.
Absolutely, and you got to adjust on the fly. You got to know who's in.
Wiltz from 3. That one off the mark. Garcia trying to rebound on the weak side, not there. Duranquez wins with the weak side ball. Small looking for Wynn down low. Gets it to him. Going one-on-one with McCullough.
Very impressed with Fresno's patience on the offensive end.
They know exactly what they want to do, and they're getting pretty much anything that they want. Chaffey has to aim to be a little bit more disruptive. Small has been fantastic in finishing. 3 on the shot clock, down to 1. That one off. Wynn gets his own rebound. Three put in for Jared Small. The lead, the largest today for Fresno City at 12, 27-15.
Fresno, the top shooting team, field goal percentage in the 3C2A. The last thing you can afford to do, give them second chance opportunities, and they take advantage there.
Great point, great point. Fresno also into their 2-2-1 contained press, and it's running clock against Chaffey.
Way down low, that's a terrific find. And finish, Aaron Johnson from Manu. I get the feeling that Manu doesn't really trust his finishing ability. He's passed very, very often down low. And sometimes I'd like to see him take a shot, keep the defense honest, because Jeff, as we often talk about, you always mention, when you go into the lane with the intent not to shoot, that's going to cost you a turnover here. That time Johnson able to finish, the lead down to 10, 4 on the shot clock. And Fresno City really milking that shot clock now with a 10-point lead. That's going to be a tough lead to come back from, especially if Chaffey can't muster a run here.
Exactly.
Johnson off to Manu. Manu by himself, picks it up, kicks it out. McCullough, ball fake into the lane, Euro step, left-handed layup. No, it's a left-handed pass to Manu Olay. Travel. Yep.
Well, it's very clear when you watch Manu that he seems to be the kind of player that thinks of himself and plays like a guard. And I think the challenge for him as he continues to grow as a player is to have the game match the body type and get more comfortable playing a little closer to the basket, because he clearly has the guard instinct.
Yeah. Trouble with the guard instincts as a big, you want to just dribble all the time. As a big, if you can put the ball on the floor, you want to be able to effectively use your dribble, especially with a quick first step, as we see Richardson dominate again in the post. Even with the double team coming over, Ulay is late. Richardson puts it off glass.
He split the defense there. Really nice move. And here's the press taking advantage.
Aizbar up top with the finish.
And Coach, you talked about it. Starts with a great trap, leads to the turnover and the transition.
Sure, we have a replay queued up next dead ball. Johnson off to Ulay. The lead 14 for the Rams, pouring it on here in the first half. Wiltz from 3, try to cut into it. No, off the front iron. Richardson tracks down the board, and he's been the star here early on for Fresno City.
Chaffey taking a couple quick shots because of the lead. It's kind of human nature. You really have to run your offense.
Knee jerk, really.
Yep.
Aizbar continues the patient theme offensively. Rico gets a good look from 3. That one off the back iron. Rebound, weak side here, or strong side rather. Aizbar off the long carom over Ulay. Another possession here for Fresno. It's got to be one and done, and it has not been that for Chaffey defensively. 1:30 to play. Fresno City going to call a timeout. Now, Coach, in this spot, you're up 14. Why do you call a timeout here? Is it something where Coach Madick didn't like the look in the offensive possession?
I think he really wants to make a statement here and get an easy basket and kind of try to put Chaffey away. Even though we say games aren't won in the first half, if they get a basket right here, it's going to be hard for Chaffey to come back right away at least. So it's a good timeout, actually. I actually like it.
Meanwhile, if you're Jeff Klein, it would be easy to think that Fresno's completely outplaying Chaffey here, and they're off to the 14-point lead. But Chaffey's had some pretty good looks, and the shots aren't going down. How, from a coaching standpoint, do you address your team when they're bound to have a little bit of frustration when the shots aren't falling?
Absolutely, and that's where you have to have sets or some offense where you get to the basket, you get in the paint, and you draw some fouls. And now you're scoring with the clock not running. You're starting to get some momentum.
Well, Fresno City, from what I see, they're not only mixing up their lineups, they're mixing up their defensive looks. Sometimes they come down in the zone, sometimes they're coming up in man, and really offensively, it's tough to establish a rhythm and go on a run. Small from 3, another one, in and out. Richardson with a rebound on the weak side. He's fouled down low. Fresno City team playing with passion.
That is just a very tough matchup for Aaron Johnson, who's really been saddled with the responsibility of matching up with Richardson for most of this first half. They haven't elected to have Manu on Richardson very often at all. And Johnson's given away a few inches there and a few pounds.
And for Richardson, I mean, that's an even tougher matchup for Manu, because Manu is a guy you have to keep out of foul trouble. In addition to, he does not have the body type to contend with a guy like Richardson down low.
Yeah, a lot of guys at the JC level don't have the body to match up with Richardson.
Richardson running 6'10", sophomore out of Madera. He goes up and good. 33-17. The lead 16 for Fresno. Coming up on the 1 minute mark here in the first half. The defense this time for Fresno is man. Garcia or McCullough. See, that's one where I think he should just shoot that. Richardson going to play off. Now you're going to kill more clock. Not going to get a good shot. Nearly threw it away. Wilt nearly traveled. Gets it out to Garcia. 3 on the shot clock. Garcia going to have to put one up on the rack. Manu trying to fly in from the weak side. Open shot. This is Andy Torices. And Torices puts it in.
That is a big shot for Chaffey. They needed that.
A fortunate bounce results in a triple for Chaffey. Richardson, such a luxury to have a guy you can just give it into, and well, he shoots one up from 3 on that possession, and I think he's probably earned that.
Absolutely, but I don't think Ed Maddock thought it was such a good shot.
Yeah, Ed's probably going to have a conversation about that shot. What he says, from 3 again, no. Dancer tracks down the board. Half-court heave for Dancer. That one just left, and we're going at the half. A decided advantage for the Rams on top of Chaffey. You are watching the 3C2A Basketball Championships, the State 8, here on day 1.
more than March. It's kinship, resilience, trust. It's love, a feeling of purpose, pure. It's your ode of honor, a melody of madness, until only one remains. The lights go dim, the crowd's roaring, but it's only you. You are the game.
33-20. Fresno with a commanding 13-point lead on top of Chaffey College. Well, boys, you don't need to do a lot of math here in terms of shooting percentages in the first half. One team shot 32%. The other one was over 50% from the field. And the numbers ring true on the scoreboard as well in Fresno. The team over 50%. Chaffey, not that great from the field. They are pretty good from three, however. 4 of 11, good for 36%. Obviously, they're going to need a lot more of that in the second half.
I thought Fresno played a great floor game. Just offensively and defensively, they pushed all the right buttons. They took great shots, and when you take great shots, you're going to shoot over 50%. And again, as we alluded to earlier, they lead the state in field goal percentage, so they're just playing their game.
Yeah, over 50% isn't exactly anything new for them this season. Also, I think you have to be very impressed with Ethan Richardson. Seemed just a little jittery the first minute or two, first couple times he handled the ball, but he settled down beautifully, ended with 12 points and 8 rebounds, and I think really he's what drove the offense, created a lot of good looks moving forward.
Yeah, he's shooting 5 of 10 from the field. One of those a three-pointer that was probably ill-advised, but well, we talked about his play, garnering position down low and operating when the ball went to him in that low post. And he's really steering the ship here. Offensively, getting what they want. Defensively, they're controlling the pace. And Chaffey, they're having a tough time shooting the shots.
Chaffey's having a tough identity right now. They're not sure, are they a driving team? Are they a shooting team? Fresno is mixing up their defenses. It is causing some problems. I think Chaffey's just got to have the will and the might just to go right at these guys, draw some fouls, and change the tide and the tempo of this game.
It's indecision, but by design from Fresno defensively. They want to make sure that you have no idea what you want to do, and you have to keep on adjusting on the fly. And some teams are better at it than others, but having run the slate in the Central Valley, 16-0, only 3 losses on the season, the Rams are going to be a tough out. Here we go here with the second half. Chaffey with possession to start things off here. It's Garcia on the dribble. Fisher. The quiet first half, only 2 points, 1 of 3 from the field. Drives the lane, Richardson goes straight up. Olay with the rebound, can't put it back up and in. Richardson tracks down the board.
I like that Chaffey went at him, and they got an offensive rebound, and Olay just missed it.
Manu struggles again from the field. Richardson again down low, spins one up off the glass. That one no good. Looking to go Cedric Sabalos, can't get the finish. Chaffey now with it. Here's Manu. Manu into the corner. Somebody got a hand on it. That one kicked.
Yeah, Richardson jumping the passing lane, but gets a foot on it instead.
I heard he's trying out for soccer. They wouldn't mind having a 6'10" guy in goal, that's for sure.
That would definitely be an asset.
Yeah, well, pretty good soccer squad up at Fresno. Pretty good everything up at Fresno, including the people. Shout out to JoJo, my boy up at Fresno City College.
They definitely support athletics up that way, for sure.
Just a great culture. Fisher from 3, that one off the mark. Johnson fighting for the board. It's Snyder who got things started off with the rebound. Eggsbar. Dancer. More methodical offense. Snyder from 3, another one. Well, how apropos. We just talked about him getting the scoring started on the night with a 3. That possession, hey, you're going to leave me open? Why not?
First minute 15, Coach, a bit of a microcosm of this whole game for Chaffey. 3 good looks and nothing to show for it.
And there's another one.
Another good look, another non-finish, and the lead is 16 for Fresno City.
That can take your confidence away, too, getting all those shots that you can't make.
And you get the feeling maybe next made basket for Chaffey if it's not dead already. Coach Klein maybe take a timeout.
Might be a good idea.
Another great entry pass. Eggsbar on the doorstep. Can't get in. Johnson in transition. Puts one up and in. And finally, 1 of 5 now in the second half is Chaffey.
That's another great feed from Manu running the break. Threads a pass in there.
You got to get some points somewhere, and that was transition. They got out and ran and used their athleticism. I think they may have to do that a little bit more this half.
Considering the deficit, you surely would think that Chaffey wouldn't mind that pace. Richardson inside. Here comes the double team. No, Manu goes back. Dancer, great recovery. And a turnover. Chaffey forces it. Let's pull up right there. Manu to the back. Can't get the layup to go. Garcia with a rebound. Up and under move. And Garcia, pretty finish. Well, the coaching here, you're down 16. You're in a big spot. You know, it's win or go home type of mentality here, but it's early in the second half. Plenty of time. You want to chip away.
You can't panic as a coach, as a player. It is a long game, and you see the tide starting to turn just a little bit for Chaffey.
Eggs bar.
And it was off of 2 transition plays that they've scored. I'd like to see them continue to do that. They just forced a turnover. Let's see if they can get a bucket and get this down to single digits here pretty soon. Fisher
off. Wiltz comes in. Another team out here for Fresno City. Manu kicks out to McCullough. McCullough looking for the short corner. Instead, it's Manu at the high post. Out to Garcia. Garcia looking for a pick. That's a great job defensively by Fresno City, not allowing the angle. Johnson wide open from 3 on the weak side. That one no good. It's rebounded by Wynn. Wynn off to Gallegos. Gallegos into the corner. Wynn. Going to be a foul called on Wynn, jockeying for position. And I want to say he probably handcuffed McCullough defensively.
Yeah, it sure looked that way.
We had a bad angle of it, but when it's starting to jostle down low, you know, it could go one way or the other.
Yep.
Win the offending party that time. Here's Manu. Manu guarded by Jonah Brown. Manu stops his dribble. McCullough, baseline runner. Layup up and good.
Good cut by McCullough off the ball.
Beautiful pass by Manu, too.
Threading the needle. He does a pretty good job of that. Now Chaffey just needs to finish. The lead is 10. It's a steal. Oulet up ahead, McCullough. McCullough through the defense. That's going to be a charge? No, that's a bucket.
I believe they called a charge, Mike.
I think he's in the restricted area. We're going to get a pretty good look of it. Where's the defender? The defender is outside of the, well, first off, I don't know if I agree with that call because the defender is retreating back and not set, and they give him the call.
You know, and the move was a Euro step, and I always feel when you do that Euro step and you're avoiding contact, it more times than not, it is a block.
So Fresno City gets away with one. Richardson, meanwhile, gets bumped while he's in the air down low, so Richardson going to go to the line.
Yeah, Johnson trying to front Richardson in the post, and I say it's just a tough assignment all the way around, and that's a good job by Richardson. Getting the ball, getting himself back into position to get to the line.
Well, you're pretty much dead to rights if Richardson's going to have that type of position down low.
Yeah, the only thing you can do on that is put some more pressure on the passer and not make it such an easy pass in there.
First free throw up and good for Richardson. Pretty cool stroke there from the mid-range. I really like his game. Obviously down low, we see the footwork, we see the finishing in terms of the post moves.
He's a really nice player. I wish he were wearing maroon and silver.
Well, we know you are. Garcia, double team in the half court. Comes a trap. Fresno City lays off. Dancer guarding Manu. Manu on the dribble. Try and make something happen. Spins back middle, looking for a shooter on the outside. That's Garcia. Garcia pulls up from 17 feet. High arcing shot, no good. Great job by Manu clearing out for Wiltz. A weak side board and a putback for Jalen Wiltz.
Great call on that, Mike. It's not only necessarily the rebounder there, it is another guy that took 2 guys out with him, and Manu definitely did that for Chaffey.
Johnson, off of a tip, has it in transition. Euro step, good, and one! Aaron Johnson with the nifty finish. And the foul from Jared Small. Chaffey chipping away and the energy decidedly in their favor.
Well, again, I think the transition is doing wonders for them. Even though that was a lucky play, per se, they're getting out in transition and they're moving the ball and they're getting some easy buckets.
And one opportunity for Johnson converted. Chaffey within 9.
11-2 run to get it back to 7, Michael, for Chaffey.
Jeff, our tax guy.
I'm going to need you here in few weeks.
Richardson down low, guarded by Johnson. When you bring the double team where the ball goes up, Manu gets his hand in the cookie jar.
You know, I think it's okay to give a foul or two on Richardson before he gets the ball up, because he's just so dangerous down there.
Looking down there, looked like Richardson traveled. I think he started his move before he put the ball down. Of course, that's in real time, or ours is in slow motion. Referees don't have the benefit of that.
You'd be a great ref if they could use slow motion for you.
No, I don't want to be a ref. That's true. Retrospect. Always 2020. Small from three in the top. Backboard first. The rebound off to McCullough. Chaffey surging here under the 15-minute mark in the second half. Garcia with it.
Oh.
Guarded by Gallegos. Gallegos with a near steal. Comes away with it. Battle for the ball. It's going to be a jump ball. Arrow should be in favor of Fresno. Those are two gritty individuals right there. Garcia lucky he didn't pick up a foul, because I thought he was well extended over Gallegos.
I agree with you on that, Mike. I think he was a little careless with the basketball. Had it up high and turned his back to him, and he's not very big at 5'7", and he basically got ripped, as they say.
Coach, we've had an opportunity to cover Antelope Valley College the past couple of seasons, and we've had an opportunity to see Julian Payton for the past couple of years, and I know you had mentioned that he was in a very serious car accident, but he's doing well now. He is healthy, and we want to, send our thoughts and prayers to him and his family. Richardson down low and fouled by Johnson or Manu. Near flush.
Well, we appreciate that, Mike, and I will definitely send your thoughts and prayers for him and his family, and of course Gary. They're just thankful that he is alive, and basketball may not be around for a while, and he'll just have to get it done another way.
Well, I mean, he certainly has a coaching feel for the game in terms of his natural ability to see things develop before they happen.
Definitely does. He was very helpful in practice for us.
Maybe wonder if that could be an avenue that he pursues down the line. Missing on both free throws is Richardson. Richardson a little bit off on that trip to the stripe. McCullough keeps it himself, gets to the rack, can't finish with the left hand. Small, it looked like it went off of him, but it's out of bounds. It will stay off of Manu. It's going back to Fresno.
Well, McCullough did 95% of the work there. He got himself to the rim and unable to convert on the layup.
Well, a lot of times, and I had a conversation with Keith Holloman, one of the assistants at Pasadena, and I know him back from my playing days. I often seek out his advice, talking about scouting matchups and teams, and he says Chaffey, a team that they're really going to try to get to the bucket, or they're going to shoot a three, as we see Dancer connect on a triple. And something that we've seen a lot of in this game is shooting from the mid-range. But I think that's exactly what Fresno City wants. They're making Chaffey do what they don't want to do, and they're uncomfortable. And we see the results on the scoreboard. Chaffey only with 31 points in this one.
Absolutely. Chaffey probably works only on threes and takes to the baskets. And so when you get him to take that in-between shot, it's a tough shot.
McCullough in and out. That was halfway down. Dancer with a rebound, had Richardson momentarily. McCullough recovers. Richardson working early in the possession for position, kicks it out wide open. Here's Snyder. Short. Garcia looking for the rebound. Small comes in, flying for the rebound. Another possession for Fresno. The Rams up by 10, looking for more here. Small looking for Rico, instead gives into the corner. Big man and big man. Snyder to Richardson. Richardson working on Ulay, and Manu no chance. Layup for Ethan Richardson. He has 16.
Richardson puts the ball on the floor, but the double team just a little late getting there, and you have to get there so quickly against Richardson. You can't let him go one-on-one.
It's been a common theme here. The lead is 12 for Fresno, 12:32 to go. Game 2 on the day of day 1, 2019. 3C2A Basketball Championships. 43-31. Chaffey in a headlock versus Fresno City. Really can't get anything going. No sustained runs that we've seen. Well, we saw an 11-2 run earlier this half. McCullough is fouled going up with it.
I like that play by Chaffey to get to the basket, to get to the foul line, and go at these guys. They're not doing that enough.
Coach, you're exactly right. This is a team in Chaffey that likes to get to the rack. They're going to put the onus on the defense, and I think they have been a little wary of trying to get to the rack. Fresno only has 3 fouls called against them here in the second half. We're at the 12:26 mark. This is a team in Chaffey that is very familiar with going to the free throw line.
Yeah, Chaffey in the top 10 in both free throws made and free throws attempted per game in the 3C2A.
And that's how you're going to chip away against a big lead right now. Obviously, you're going to need to get some stops.
Chaffey in a 1-2-2 press here.
Miller throws it away. Ouellet, great hands. Watch out, get it to a guard. Ouellet keeps possession, goes up against Miller and can't get it to go. Rebound on the weak side. Fresno has it. This is Daniel Rico into the ball game. Ainsbar over to Wynn. Gallegos from 3. Well, you need stops, and when you're going up against the second team, you're going to need to garner as many as possible if you're Chaffey. And that time, Fresno with the triple. McCullough to answer? Yes.
Chaffey again goes to press.
McCullough now with 12. The 1-2-2 working wonders here. Rico nearly throws it away. That's a foul by Manu. 15 foul on Chaffey.
Didn't really need to foul on that.
And I believe that's his third, and it is.
McCullough on 3. To respond to the Gallegos 3 from earlier than that.
Chaffey in their matchup zone.
Ainsbar. See, if Ouellet goes, if he sets his feet, I think that's probably a charge. Manu bails a little bit there. No foul call. That would have been his 4th. It goes out of bounds off of Fresno City. Back to Chaffey. Possession goes. Wilt's back into the ball game. He'll come on. Cameron Fisher. And Manu's going to bring it up. This is a bit of a matchup zone look here from Fresno. Behind the back, inside, Johnson can't get it to go. Rico with a rebound, and Coach, we talked about the good looks, the great looks that Chaffey has just not been able to capitalize on. No look, Rico in the corner, Miller, great feed, travel.
Yep. Chaffey's missed 3 layups out of their last 4 possessions, and so you can't get a better shot than that unless you flush it.
I'd like to see Manu do a little bit of that. We know he has the body type and the athleticism to do it. Not looking to finish, unfortunately. Garcia has that one poked away by Gallegos. Gallegos now in transition. Working against Garcia. Give me that one back. Garcia now with it. And the transition defense there again from Fresno. Well, Coach, you're making the point of wanting to see Chaffey get into transition and speed this up, but Fresno's so good at getting back defensively, especially with their second unit.
They get back and they guard you way out in the operational area, away from it.
Manu, left-hander, not in, but he's fouled.
And it makes it tough. I like that play right there, getting the ball into Manu for a little jump hook, and he got fouled. I think they can go to the well often there.
Agreed. 10:04 to go.
Meanwhile, a fresh 5 set to check in for Fresno after this free throw.
Game 3 coming up. Top seed from the north, CCSF, San Francisco. Justin LeBon Company will take on the Cinderella here at this year's championship, Santa Monica. Winners of a play-in game. They punched their ticket.
I know they're working on having the history be a little more accessible, but you wonder how often that has happened in the past, a play-in team making it to the round of 8.
It's probably a very small percentage.
the format's so tough because the turnover, I believe you play Wednesday, Saturday, and then obviously the following Saturday. But the format's been a little off, especially now that they transitioned back to the State 8 format.
Correct. No double team.
Richardson nearly feasts fool's gold that time.
Fool's gold. That was a great look.
Chaffey will take it, though. Trailing it by 10, 46-36. Under 10 to go. You have to push tempo here, even in the half court. What does John Wooden say? Be fast, but don't rush.
Correct.
Manu, that's great defense from Richardson. Kick out, Wilt from 3. No. Johnson keeping the ball alive. Small comes away with it. Garcia with the foul.
Wiltz was open, but I don't like that rotation on his ball. It's kind of got a little bit of side spin and
coming off at a different angle. Probably be a good bowler.
Well, he's also going out now, so I wonder if that shot had something to do with it.
Could be. Well, Coach, in our matchups later today, we just talked about it, CCSF in Santa Monica. And then, of course, tonight, it'll be Fullerton, the top seed in the South, as Richardson comes free. What do you like in those matchups?
Well, I tell you, you got to go with San Francisco just because of their record and who they are, and Justin's been there and done that before. But Santa Monica can present a lot of problems. They're big, they're physical, they'll shoot really well at times. I don't think they're as consistent as you'd want to be, but at times they shoot the ball, and so they're really dangerous.
Box out on Manu. Dancer give and go to Small. That one swiped away by McCullough. Up ahead to Manu. Manu working one-on-one with Snyder. Good drop step to the baseline and finish from Manu Ule.
It's a nice move right there.
Timeout, a full one from Chaffey. They trail it by 10, 8:23 to go. Don't go anywhere. Fresno with a 10-point lead, 8:21 to go. Mike Cepeda, Jeff Stoyanoff, John Taylor, coach at Antelope Valley College, with us. Fresno will go into their milk the clock offense. Backdoor set up. Dancer had a beat on it. McCullough with the trip.
Yeah, McCullough about to get beat backdoor there and just reached out rather than give up a sure layup.
In the nightcap, I do have Fullerton, by the way.
Fullerton over Santa Rosa. Santa Rosa, a team that can present some problems, especially from three. They seem to be a team that's always in the mix because of their ability to shoot the long ball, such the great equalizer that the three ball is. We saw them with the win over San Bernardino Valley at Cerritos a few years back. We had that game. That's going to be a foul on Manu.
That's a big foul there.
Number four. Yeah.
Kind of lost his poise there. He got pressured and he just pushed the guy out of the way.
And you can't extend that far. No. They're going to call that every day of the week.
Yep. think Santa Rosa's a team, too, that passes the ball so well and moves so well.
Well, they
and
execute.
efficient.
It's all a matter, can they get enough stops? Because I think offensively, you know what you're going to get. They have a kid named Chavez that can absolutely flat play. He reminds me a little bit of Blake Seitz that we saw from Miramar earlier in the year. Kind of unassuming, but an absolute stud as a player. All tapped out of bounds by Chaffey. It's going to stay with Fresno. Down low.
See right now the decision made that as soon as Richardson puts it on the floor, that's when the hard double team is coming for Chaffey.
Dancer gets it to small. Looking again for Richardson down low. They're getting a break right now because of the foul trouble. Derek Ironen on the floor. Working against Richardson. It's going to be a foul on Ironen. It's an easy call because you can't extend, especially with your hands on the back of the post play. Really nothing Coach Klein can do.
No. And in my mind, if you're going to foul, get your money's worth. Yeah. I always tell my guys, if you're going to foul, don't get a touch foul. Make sure the guy knows you fouled him.
Send a message.
Exactly.
We saw that
your first foul.
We saw that last game, Coach. It's a great point that you made because last game, Citrus has a player by the name of Colby Orr, and they were trying to body him up early in the first half, and he was over in the first half. He struggled, and then he turned it on in the second half, and he committed a foul. Not a dirty foul, but a foul with emphasis on it that sent a message, and after that really started to solidify his presence in the game. And Citrus comes away with a victory, a decided victory over Sequoias as Richardson again inside with the move. Richardson now with 18. He's got a double-double.
You talk about an unassuming player. Colby is just that, and he is a nightmare to guard.
I bring up Colby and Citrus because you're very familiar with them playing in the Western State North.
Unfortunately, yes. But we actually had 2 really good games with them, and you just can't over-help with them. They're going to nail shots if you help. So you have to make them finish over you, and if they do, good for them.
Torices, who hit a triple in the first half, off the mark there. This is going to be a foul. I think this is going to go against Gallegos. Second on Gallegos. We'll see how we'll bring it in, baseline out of bounds.
Chaffey just has no flow to their game at all.
No picture on the screen, it's black.
It's very untypical of them.
Yep.
Shooting 5 of 19 from 3 in the game.
And some of those Jeffs have been really good looks. They just missed them.
Torices. Great find. Johnson in the corner. Dancer closes out. Torices gets it back, working against Gallegos. 18 on the shot clock. Plenty of time to go to work. Garcia looking for short corner. Sip kicks it to Johnson. Wide open 3. That's good. They'll need more of that. We're trailing by 9. Chaffey has managed, despite pretty much getting dominated in every facet of the ball game, regardless of not having any flow, they're only down by 9. Plenty of time to make a run here.
It seems like a 30-point game, and it's a 9. Just because of the styles.
And by design, again, Fresno City milking the clock so they're not upping their point total, but they want to control the tempo, and
Sure.
Richardson not in. They don't have a go-to guy. Snyder in the corner right now. We'll have a foul called on Miller. That's been a consistent foul. I know Coach Madek is not happy about the call, but Miller leaves his feet, leaves his position.
Well, and there you have it, the legal screen. Again, you have to be set. What I liked about Chaffey's last possession is they touched the paint 3 times.
Yeah.
And so when they get to the paint, doesn't mean you have to shoot it, but you can drive and kick it.
McCullough turns the corner. He's fouled going up with it. And Coach, you're exactly right. You touched on it right there. McCullough gets into the paint. Good things happen for the Panthers. McCullough. I thought it was Darren Williams for a second.
That's a very good lookalike.
Doppelganger.
I think.
It's a movie coming out. It's called Us, I think.
Yes.
With Jordan Peele.
73% foul shooter.
These are points they have to have. They can't afford to leave points off the board. Got to make your free throws.
1 of 2, especially in a game that could potentially be close.
Could come down to a free throw or two.
Sure. Well, free throws are going to put you in position. You made 3 at the right time to close the gap.
Absolutely.
Just 3 of 7 as a team from the line, and I will wager you that that is in the running for their lowest total of free throw attempts in any game this season.
I think that's from Chaffey not getting to the basket like they normally do. So you got to give credit to Fresno as well, keeping them out of there.
Small being guarded tightly by Torices. And Torices is really giving Chaffey some good minutes off the bench. Small driving the lane, looking to give it off. Torices with a steal. Torices 3-on-2. Gives off. Garcia, layup, up and good.
Beautiful run, 2-on-1. That's exactly how you should run it.
Like you heard me calling him.
This is as close as they have been in the second half. Chaffey within 6.
50-44. Coming up on the 5-minute mark. Dancer thought about the 3. Instead gives off to Snyder. Small in the low post, working against Torices. Torices looking for a steal. Richardson lays it up and lays in. That's just too easy.
You need 2 points, you go to Richardson.
And Coach, under 5 to go. I don't see Richardson coming out of the ball game anytime soon.
I wouldn't think so. I think they've had enough rest. They're good to go. They're going to finish out this
He's
game.
really your release valve offensively. If you need a bucket, that's the guy that you're going to go to. You're going to get a good shot if it touches.
Absolutely.
Johnson.
I love the fact that they can, Fresno can actually have 2 post players that can step out and reverse the ball for you.
Agreed. Johnson 3 on the shot clock in the corner. 3 is an air ball. Snyder with a rebound on the weak side.
They never initiated a drive in that set.
Fresno really shielding it and keeping everybody outside. Dancer in the mid-post, kicks out. Snyder from 3. Dagger? No. 4 minutes and change here to go. Fisher kicks out. Torices gets it back to Fisher from 3. It's short. Fisher able to track down his own rebound. No box out from Fresno. Torices from 3. His second one. It's a 5-point lead for Fresno and Chaffey within striking distance. 3:47 to go. And counting here, and Fresno starting to bite their nails a little bit as Chaffey has been able to cut into their lead. Dancer down low, guarded by McCullough. That shot is off. Surprised they didn't go to Richardson that time. Chaffey with a chance to close the gap even further. McCullough kicks out. Torices the rhythm 3 off the front iron. Manu with the follow, playing with 4 fouls, able to get to it. He has 7. Fresno up only by 3. Small kicks out to Snyder, and now Fresno City lacking an identity outside of Richardson offensively.
Absolutely, and Chaffey's playing behind the post. I would think you'd want to go inside.
I think they're kind of baiting them, knowing that the double teams are going to come. Gallegos brings it out. Small gets a shot up at the end of the shot clock and puts it in. Great response for Jared Small.
Small had a great run in the first half, and that's a big-time hoop right there. He's got 7.
Back to a 5-point lead for the Rams. Torices, little indecision, hesitation move into the lane. Layup up and good. Put that one on the N1 highlight reel. as Torices gets to the rack.
You know, Coach, sometimes I think you're just looking for a hot hand, and it looks like maybe Chaffey has finally found one in Torices here down the stretch.
Absolutely. Again, though, getting to the paint. Even on a couple threes they've made, they got into the paint.
Andres Torices gets it back to a 3-point lead for Fresno, and Chaffey closing the gap after the last time out. 2:19 to go. It's a one-possession ball game. Do not go anywhere. Well, if you're Chaffey, the leading scorer on the year, Manu Ole, 7 points on the night. He has 12 rebounds, 5 assists, but also playing with 4 fouls. But you know what? Hey, our best player, a little bit of a down night. Insert Andres Torices. He has 8, and he's been the driving force of this run that has closed the gap to 3. Georgie Dancer with it out front. An experienced squad that was here a year ago. Gallegos from 3. LJ Gallegos with a huge three-pointer gets it out to a 6-point lead. McCullough looking to respond, no. Dancer runs him off the three-point line. Great closeout defensively. Rico Johnson in the corner, wide open 3. That shot is off. Richardson with a rebound. Richardson, his 13th, or check that, his 12th board of the ball game. And that 3 really took the wind out of the sails for Chaffey.
Oh, right at the shot clock. Great patience by Fresno City to get that look.
Under 10 in the shot clock, down to 8. Gallegos again? No. Kicks it out. Snyder gets it back to Gallegos. Dancer from the top, NBA-style 3 in terms of range. It's off the mark. Manu with a rebound. Near travel for Cameron Fisher. McCullough gets one up, nearly banked in a 3 on a double clutch. Dancer, a great closeout. It's off the mark. We're under a minute to go. And I think it's about that time to foul. Double bonus for Fresno.
Yeah, I'm a fan if they do it like that right away. I don't like when you say, hey, as a coach, we're gonna play this possession out, and then they foul with 5 or 6 seconds on the shot clock.
I see the kick out here in Gallegos with a huge 3. Such a dagger. And a clutch shot. He's at the free throw line for a couple. Good on the first. Well, happy you've joined us, everybody. Fresno looking like they're going to move on to semifinals Saturday. Second free throw also good. The winner will get the winner from Fullerton and Santa Rosa later this evening. Chaffey has to move quick. Side. 1-and-1. Hands on the offensive player. That's a bad foul if you're Fresno City. You want them to use as much clock as possible, and now you allow the opportunity for Chaffey to get points without time coming off the clock.
This really helps Chaffey. Because the clock is their enemy now as well, and to be able to stop it and put points on the board, it's like a double bonus.
Speaking of the double bonus, Fresno will be in the double penalty. after this foul. Both teams now in the double bonus. Got to make the first. First one is good for Manu Ole. Ole now up to 8 points.
Expect a press by Chaffey. Maybe go for a steal right away, and if they don't get it, foul.
Chaffey only with a single timeout left. You expect Coach Klein to keep that in the back pocket for now. We've already discussed that they're coming up with a press after a make here. That one in and out. Richardson with a rebound, and how fitting. 22 points, 13 rebounds now for Ethan Richardson. Well, Jeffrey, we had a discussion about player of the game last game. I don't think there's any doubt who the player of the game in this one's going to be.
Yeah, I'm not going off the board on you on this one. I think Ethan Richardson been just a control center both offensively and defensively for Fresno City, and strong statement here with the double-double. If there's been one area of mild struggle, it's been at the line. He's 4 of 8.
And I believe he started the game 4 of 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he looked pretty smooth from there, and now he's got a little out of sorts at the stripe. Gallegos with 10, Small with 9, Dancer with 8, Snyder with 6.
Well, you know, as always, though, you talk about Richardson, 23 and 13, maybe the player of the game, but maybe the play of the game, the drive by Dancer, the dish to Gallegos, that huge 3 that they hit about a minute ago to push the lead back out to 6.
And really, Chaffey, and you talk about the dagger play that really got Fresno the separation, the cushion that they needed. It was something that Chaffey does a lot of. Drive it to the mid-post and kick. And it's something that they do very well. Came back to Burnham as Gallegos hits on that triple.
Absolutely. Interesting. Fresno pressed here and committed a foul. I'm sure that's not what Coach wanted. It was more to contain, and they reached it. Now we're shooting 2 for Chaffey.
And they were letting them play earlier a little bit. I think the refs have tightened up a little bit down the stretch. First free throw up and good for Garcia. Manu Ule with 8. Andres Torices with 8. Anthony Garcia at the line right now on a made free throw. That'll be 10 for him. And Aaron Johnson with 10, and Isaiah McCullough leading the way for Chaffey with 13. Foul Jared Small.
Well, they're going to play the free throw game.
So far it's working. Only down by 6 is Chaffey. But now Fresno City can just not shoot themselves in the foot and commit fouls when they're in the penalty, double bonus. We can get to a final result. Small readies his first free throw. Good. CCSF and Santa Monica. The Rams and the Corsairs. Coach, do you know what a Corsair is?
I did at one time. I believe it's like a sailboat, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a French pirate.
That's what I meant.
Well, they do spend time on boats.
Hey, I appreciate that, Mike. I'll see you after this broadcast.
you were on the right track. You just didn't let him finish his answer.
Thank you, Jeff. Kudos to you, sir.
I needed a little time to kill. Lay trying to come in for the rebound. It's off. McCullough again, a missed layup, and you know, for Chaffey, we talk about all the missed layups. Coach, they had a stretch of 4 possession where they missed 3 layups, and what might have been, if you're the Panthers, if you're able to make 3 more layups in this game, you're down by 8 now.
It changes the whole mindset, and that's part of being mentally tough and physically tough. You got to put those down, but if you don't make them, you got to find another way to do it.
Yeah. Georgie, good free throw on the first.
French pirate, huh?
French pirate, Corsairs.
I'm going to validate that with Siri.
I think we've got that one down here, Coach. We've had a lot of time in the South. Timeout on the floor, 37 seconds to go. No, 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here.
I think what I meant to say was French sailboat captain ship. I just you didn't allow me the courtesy of getting it all out.
Well, basketball is a very fast game, so I just had to get back to the action.
I understand that.
Santa Monica, Coach, a team that has surprised many. They play really hard, a lot of effort. A team that is hot at the right time. They punched their ticket up to the State 8. What can we expect between the matchup later between them and CCSF Lorraine?
Well, I got to tell you, I have not seen San Francisco this year, but Santa Monica is really physical. They have 3 or 4 guys 6'8" or taller. They really play hard and they crash the boards.
And again, the clock stopping on a foul from Fresno.
I think that watching a little bit of City College of San Francisco this year, what strikes you about them is pretty much what you would expect. They're incredibly deep and incredibly versatile, and I think that's what makes them so difficult to beat. They can play seemingly any type of game. And you have to imagine if you're Santa Monica, you're just thinking, hey, let's try to get this into the second half and still in the game. And then, hey, now we can play kind of fast and loose, and who knows what we can do. But they got to get out of the first half first, I think, against City College of San Francisco.
Absolutely. I don't know how much Santa Monica will play them zone, but I've seen in previous years what causes San Francisco some problems is a tight, compact 2-3 zone. And so it'll be interesting to see if that's Santa Monica's take.
I don't know if they have a shooter like they did in Stansbury like they did a year ago. If they do have somebody to shoot a team out of a zone, we're not going to see Santa Monica go too much of it. Santa Monica with a win over Riverside in the round of 16. A bucket by Wiltz.
Yeah, they've been the road warriors.
Yeah, the big win for them it was ELAC to win that. ELAC playing a game versus San Diego City. San Diego City is a team, a state champion 2 years ago, runner-up last year versus San Francisco. That was a team that we saw earlier in the year. Had they, it might have been the other way around. They could have been the team that's up here. Because they have a lot of talented players, very experienced crew, and Santa Monica was able to dispatch them.
Well, I got to tell you, we played East LA College in the Cuyamaca final, and they blew us out. And I have not had a team play that well or that hard against us in my 30 years of coaching. They were a machine. I was a little surprised. But I knew Santa Monica, sometimes typically it's going to be matchups. It's not who is better. And so Santa Monica really had good matchups with East LA, I thought, going in. And I actually told a few people I thought Santa Monica would beat them because they have the size to match up front with them.
Ed Maddock, the shot. San Francisco getting ready to take the floor as the Fresno City College Rams will move on to semifinal Saturday. Citrus with a win earlier today versus Sequoias. Fresno being instructed not to foul. Way trying to tap that one back in. Win with a rebound, and that will do it. 68-56. Fresno with a hard-fought win over a very keen Chaffey squad. Chaffey unable to really put it together, and credit to the defense and the game plan put together by Fresno City. Coach, any last words?
I just want to thank you and Jeff for having me and sharing your world with me. I will never, ever let you two sit on the bench, but I appreciate you allowing me to do your job.
We're just happy that you let us within 20 feet of the bench to call the game. That's nice of you. And we're even allowed to be that close.
Coach, I can't even come off the bench for you? Is that what you're saying?
Let me check.
Ellie's a freshman. What if he needs a couple minutes?
I'm thinking the
That's
same.
about all you have in you, I think, right? That's at this point.
That's exactly right.
I'm thinking the same thing. I believe I had a water boy that resigned toward the end of the year. I might be able to find a spot for you.
Well, hey, one thing I do know, think at H2O. That'll wrap it up for Game 2. Game 3 coming up. CCSF and Santa Monica. For Jeff Stoynoff, John Taylor, the whole crew here at SoCalCollegeSports.com. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in a little bit.